8 p.m. at 9:30 p.m.
Ito po ang Hangout with Mamon.
Dito lang sa nag-iisang himpilan, Cool FM. Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, tabi pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong himpilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 11.
Good morning, Luzon listeners and Mindanao. This is koolNews at 11. And it's now 11:01 a.m. We will be live right here on we are live on Cool FM and also live streaming on TVH News YouTube channel. All right, let's begin with our recap of the headlines that we have covered earlier. Tuesday assault a hitman to kill President Marcos, First Lady Lisa Areta Marcos, and House Speaker Marty Raming Altes if she were to be assassinated. The subpoena was delivered to the office of the Vice President in Mandaluyong City and was received at 12:52 p.m. by Lucky April Ebro, officer in charge of the Central Record Unit of the OVP. According to the document, Duterte was ordered to appear at the office of NBI Director Jimmy Santiago in Pasay City this coming Friday at 9 a.m. as part of the investigation being conducted by the NBI. In particular, the subpoena was meant to shed light on the investigation for alleged grave threats under Article 282 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of Republic Act No. 10175, also known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act, and for possible violation of RA 11479 or the Anti-Terrorism Act. The subpoena was signed by Galan Ricarte, Assistant Director for Investigation Service at the NBI. The Vice President declined to respond to questions about the subpoena, saying she has yet to read it. We will talk about the NBI subpoena tomorrow, so give me time to read and think about it, she told reporters on Tuesday. Duterte again insisted that her disclosure of contacting a hitman to kill Marcos was not an active threat, saying it was a conditional act of revenge. She tried to explain her response to a question from one of her supporters if she was aware about the so-called Operation Romanov, an alleged plot to wipe out the entire Duterte family. This was during a video conference in the midnight of Saturday from inside the detention cell at the Batasang Papansa, where her chief of staff Sulaika Lopez was being held there. Duterte disclosed her plan by saying in Filipino, "I told him, the process she conducted, that if I am killed, you kill BBM, Lisa Arianta, and Martin Rami Aldes. No joke, no joke. I left word, ma'am, that if I am killed, don't you stop until you kill them." And then he said yes. Duterte said her response of being in touch with someone to do her bidding was conditional on her being killed first. If they kill me, if I die, in the context of don't worry about my security, so this means if I was killed, right? So if I am killed, I already asked a person to take revenge against three individuals, Duterte to reporters. So my question now to the administration is revenge from the grave a crime? Reporters asked her to confirm if she indeed contacted someone to kill the president, to which she responded, yes. So I have to die first. They will have to kill me first. So now they can't kill me anymore unless they want to die, the vice president said. Duterte was also careful with her choice of words, saying that she told the person she hired to take revenge. She had earlier insisted that her statement was taken out of its logical context and questioned why the word assassin was brought up. Tossing the word assassin into this issue makes things even more terrifying, and especially because I never used that term during my recent consternation against the Marcos administration, Duterte explained. Common sense should be enough for us to understand and accept that a supposed conventional act of revenge does not constitute an active threat. This is a plan without a flash, she noted. But the Department of Justice on Tuesday clarified that there is no legal basis for a conditional threat, which Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa also used to describe Duterte's alleged kill orders. According to Justice Undersecretary Jesse Andres, a threat remains a threat regardless of any condition attached to it, as essence lies in an intent to cause harm. There's no such thing as a conditional threat. A threat is a threat. If I say I'll kill you if I don't like your face, it's still a threat. Andres explained in a Tara radio interview. De La Rosa on Monday defended Duterte's kill order against the president, arguing that her statement included a condition. There was a condition in what she said, right? If someone tries to kill her, she said she would have them killed too. Basically, nothing will happen if she isn't harmed, De La Rosa told reporters. Everything has been heard and can be listened to or watched again in the video. She said in no uncertain terms, and when she finished speaking, she said, yes, it's true, no joke. So it is really a threat to the president, wherein she has already begun executing the threat by engaging the services of an assassin, Andres explained. Let us understand the situation. She is a sitting vice president. She is the potential beneficiary of the death of the president, Andres said. The country's multi-billion-dollar business process outsourcing sector could be the next victim of Philippine offshore gaming operators. Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission Director Winnie Dato warned on Tuesday as the Senate wrapped up its investigation on Poco-related crimes. Dato said Pocos had period renting homes in residential villages, but after they splintered into smaller groups to avoid being detected by authorities. Senator Recibo de Vera said she had received information that Pocovers were conducting guerrilla scam operations. In his first visit to the United Arab Emirates, President Marcos met with President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on Tuesday as they vote to deepen cooperation between the nations and in trade, sustainability, and other economic areas. The two leaders emphasized their dedication to strengthening bilateral ties for the benefits of their peoples as they mark the 15th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the countries, which was established on August 19, 1974. Marcos is up to the happy for a one-day working visit. He conveyed his gratitude to Sheikh Mohammed for UAE's assistance to the Philippines, including the arrest of suspected sex traffickers. He also thanked the Emirati royal for the training that his country provided to members of the Philippine National Police and for his recent pardon of 140 Filipinos jailed for minor offenses. The president also cited UAE's humanitarian aid to survivors of the series of storms that hit the Philippines. Around 700,000 Filipinos are working or staying in the UAE, according to the Presidential Communications Office. Before his departure, Marcos issued a video on Monday for activities in Makati, marking the conclusion of Climate Change Consciousness Week, which began November 19. We are continuously called to press on so that the next generations can still enjoy the lush and bountiful Philippines that we have inherited, the president said in his video message, as he highlighted the importance of Climate Change Consciousness Week as a platform to encourage appreciation for the country's rich natural resources. May this week pave the way for such an appreciation so that we can act accordingly and adapt to the changing demands of both nature and our citizens, Marcos said. Climate Change Consciousness Week was established by the Climate Change Commission through Proclamation number 1667 dated November 18, 2008. And the Commission on Elections on Tuesday condemned the separate killings of two acting municipal election officers in Lanao del Norte and Sultan Kudarat provinces, saying both murders were considered election-related. The complex said the death of the acting election officer of Nunung Gantan in Lanao del Norte Monday was not only a crime against a public servant, but an assault on democracy itself. Mark Orlando Ballester II, 51, was ambushed by motorcycle-riding gunmen while on his car in the town of Salvador, also in Lanao del Norte, on Monday afternoon. He suffered multiple gunshot wounds on the head and was pronounced dead at a hospital in Lalata. Ballester drove ahead of a convoy of vehicles carrying Comelec personnel heading to the Salvador town proper for a conference when attacked. According to Nunugan Mayor Marcos Mamay, Ballester received death threats during the conduct of the barangay and youth elections in October last year but had refused to have security escorts. Violence has no place in a democratic society. Such acts spread fear, disrupt the electoral process, and undermine the values of justice and freedom that bind us as a nation, the COMELEC said in its statement. It added the Commission remains steadfast in its mission to uphold free, fair, and peaceful elections. Violence will not deter us, and those who seek to harm democracy will face the full force of justice. The poll body said it mourned the loss of the colleague who served with courage and integrity as it extended its condolences to Ballester's family and loved ones. The Commission also said it was in close coordination with law enforcement and committed to ensuring that the perpetrators of this heinous act are swiftly identified and brought to justice. Measures are being taken to expedite the investigation, and we will work tirelessly to prevent similar incidents in the future, it said. It is now 11:12 a.m. as we will return with more headlines right here on koolNews at 11. So stay along with us. We will be right back.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Katip's Hot Dog. Amoy na amoy ang sarap. Kids can tell. Neutral Light Style Low-Fat Milk Powder. So good you'll float. Product excellence of Hongsang. And Musicultura Heritage Foundation Center, a museum of all fan-made multimedia and Philippine history. Visit us today at Greenbelt, Makati City from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Musicultura, a non-profit joint venture project of Able Media and TVH Group of Networks Incorporated. Araw-araw ang ating Pasko sa iyong himpilan, ang inyong tahanan.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Protection
Yakult!
with 8 billion live LCS
Yakult!
that may reach the intestines alive.
Yakult!
Helps improve digestion and boost immunity.
Yakult!
With proper diet and exercise,
Yakult! Kaya panalo ka dyan!
Enjoy up to 50% off on your favorite brands pag nag-GCash ka ngayong Pasko. Lahat merry sa Merry GCash. See the GCash app for more details. Promo runs from November 15, 2024 to January 15, 2025. Per DTI Fair Trade Permit Number FTEB 205923 Series of 2024. GCash is supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Aray! Sakit ng katawan buong araw at work? No worries! Just Patch Salon Pass para maghatid ng direct ingredient penetration, pangmabilisan within 30 minutes at pangmatagalang relief na dumidikit hanggang 8 oras. Patch, shoulder, neck, back, body pain, Patch, Salon Pass. Methyl salicylate, menthol, tocopherol acetate. Camphor is a generic name of Salon Pass. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Patuloy nating suportahan Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, ang tagapagtanggol ng sambayanang Pilipino. Sa Senado, sagot ka ni Bato, mahal tayo ni Bato, pagtatanggol tayo. Sa Senado, sagot Kani Bato, matapang si Bato, ipaglalaban tayo sa Senado. Sagot tayo ni Bato.
This advertisement is paid by Ronald De La Rosa.
Pre, makinig ka muna. Payong kaibigan lang ha. Work hard, play hard. Yan ang motto ko dati. Pero nakakapagod din pala katagalan sa gitna ng lahat ng puyat, inom at pagkain ng masasarap. Kasama na ang oily and fatty foods, kailangan pa rin bantayan ang kalusugan. Tamang kontrol ang kailangan. Katuwang ko ang Liverade, si Limerine supplement na best with proper diet and exercise. Cheers to more good times. Salamat sa Liverade. Mabibili ang Liverade sa mga leading drugstores nationwide. Mahalagang paalala, ang Liverade ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat kabiling paggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Going shopping, so many fits to choose. New look, just dab it, just dab it. Shop all out, just dab it, just dab it. Enjoy vacation, just dab it, just even go all out, just dab it, just dab it. Chill out, just dab it, just dab it. Wanna party, wanna dine out, wanna dab it. Just dab it. Vibe out, just dab it, just dab it. Live it up with dab it. Hang with BDO with dab it.
BDO is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Mas matindi na ang init at ulan ngayon. Kaya dapat Elastosil na with Solastomer 3X formula. UV resistant, puno na flexible premium polymers. Matibay, 3 times sa tumatagal. Versus competing brand. Tag-init o tag-ulan, Elastosil mo yan. Pioneer, do it right.
With Sprite, kayang-kaya mo yan. Cool ka lang, steady ka lang muna man. Sprite ka lang dyan.
This time check brought to you.
Oh no, ganyan kapag feeling hulas. Atasha Mulak here. Stop feeling hulas with new Palmolive Naturals Cool and Fresh. My cooling feeling at long-lasting bango up to 24 hours with regular use.
Matamlay, mabigat ang pakiramdam, at laging mataas ang presyon sa dugo. Kasangga para sa mas magaan na pakiramdam at para ma-manage ang blood pressure. Mag-Mark-C ascorbic acid plus zinc araw-araw. Nakakatulong din ito para maiwasan ang heart disease, iron deficiency, at lalong lalakas ang ating immune system. Kaya mag-Mark-C ascorbic acid plus zinc araw-araw para always kang healthy.
Kamote! Kamote naman. Try mo to. Ang mura naman!
Dito ka na. Sa mapapamura ka talaga. Move it. Discarding tapat.
Ang sweet mo naman, ang sweet mo rin, para tayong merry manchkin. Ang saya na Pasko, ang dahil sa'yo, merry manchkin. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, merry manchkin to you. Merry munchkin to you. My name is Serena. Merry Christmas.
Ang paboritong evening tambayan ng bawat kalamaw. Napapakinggan at napapanood pa sa radyo.
Sa bagong oras dito na 9:30 p.m., tuloy pa rin ang saya.
Ito ang
With Master Gio.
Tuwing Sabado dito lang sa Cool FM.
Araw-araw ang ating Pasko sa iyong himpilan. Ang inyong tahanan.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Welcome back to koolNews at 11. Let's continue with our headlines. Improvements in institutional and policy settings prompted S&P Global Ratings to raise its credit outlook on the Philippine government to positive, opening the door for potential upgrade to the highly coveted A ranking. While S&P kept its BBB plus investment grade rating for the Philippine sovereign, the Global Debt Watcher upwardly revised its outlook from stable, citing effective policymaking that has delivered structural improvements to the country's credit metrics. A positive outlook indicates a good chance for the country to finally back its first ever A rating from one of the big three credit rating agencies in the next 1 to 2 years. It reaffirms our stable economic and political environment and that we are on track to achieve a growth-enhancing fiscal consolidation. We have a comprehensive road to A initiative to ensure that we secure more upgrades soon, Finance Secretary Ractus said. The Philippine government also holds investment grade rating from Fitch Ratings and Moody's Ratings Baa2. So for Fitch Ratings it's BBB and Moody's rating is Baa2, both of which are 2 notches away from the entry level A credit rating. Yes. S&P rating scale ranges from D, the lowest, to the highest rating of AAA. Should the debt watcher decide to upgrade the Philippines' badge of credit worthiness, the last level for the country is A modest. The higher rating means better perception of lenders on a borrower's ability to pay its obligations. This will result in lower interest rates for issuers like the government, which can channel the interest savings to more productive spending like social programs and infrastructure build-up. That said, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Eli Remolona Jr. welcomed the decision of S&P. This reflects the work the government has done to improve the economic, fiscal, and monetary environment, enabling strong growth to continue, Remolona said. Explaining its decision, S&P said the ratings outlook reflected the country's above-average economic growth potential. The credit rater expects the local economy to grow by 5.5% this year, supported by recovery in net export performance along with contained inflationary pressures. On the fiscal side, S&P expects the Marcos administration to continue its well-established plan to cut the budget deficit and government debt, which has yielded constructive development outcomes. But S&P said it would take several years for the balance sheet of the government to recover to pre-pandemic levels, projecting the budget deficit as a share of the economy to average around 3.3% over the next 3 years. We believe the normalization of economic growth in the Philippines will help to lower the general government deficit to 4% of gross domestic product in 2024 from 4.5% in 2023, the credit rating agency said. Stickier inflation, high interest expenditure, and increased public spending will prevent a faster reduction of the deficit, it added. Moving forward, S&P said it may finally give the Philippines the coveted A rating if the country could further improve its buffers against external shocks. Achieving a more rapid fiscal consolidation may also trigger an upgrade, while the outlook may revert to stable if economic recovery falters and leads to deterioration of the national fiscal and debt positions. And investors retreated to the sidelines after Donald Trump, who was returning to the White House, made pronouncements on imposing tariffs that can stoke inflation, pushing the Philippine Stock Exchange Index into red territory. The benchmark PSEI dropped by 0.63% or 43.14 points to close at 6,806.86, while the broader All Shares Index slipped 0.4% or 15.2 points to settle at 3,796.54. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's remarks via social media saying he would impose 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and an additional 10% tariff on China dampened sentiment. Fuel stocks Financial Incorporated senior research analyst Jeff Het Tang Tiangco said. In addition, the Tiangco said traders were also worried about the weak peso still trading around the 59 pesos level against the US dollar. All subsectors all sectors were in the red except for financials, which rose by 0.54%. The services index fell the deepest with a 2.68% decline. Over 587.79 million shares valued at 4.6 billion pesos were traded. Losers led gainers, 110 to 82, while 43 issues were unchanged. Top traded shares were that of International Continental Services Incorporated, down 6.02% to 390 pesos each. And let's get onto the international news now, as Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday recommended his cabinet approve a United States brokered ceasefire agreement with Lebanon's Hezbollah, setting the stage for an end to nearly 40 months of fighting linked to an ongoing war in the Gaza Strip. In the hours leading up to the cabinet meeting, Israel carried out its most intense wave of strikes in Beirut and the southern suburbs and issued a record number of evacuation warnings. At least 24 people were killed in strikes across the country, according to local authorities, as Israel signaled it aims to keep plummeting Hezbollah in the final hours before any ceasefire takes hold. A ceasefire would mark the first major step toward ending the region-wide unrest triggered by Hamas' attack on Israel on October 7, 2023, but it does not address the devastating war in Gaza. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to bring peace to the Middle East, but neither he nor Netanyahu have proposed a post-war solution for the Palestinian territory, where Hamas is still holding dozens of hostages and the conflict is far intractable. Still, any halt to the fighting in Lebanon is expected to reduce the likelihood of war between Israel and Iran, which backs both Hezbollah and Hamas and exchanged direct fire with Israel on 2 occasions earlier this year. And Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Tuesday he had a good conversation with Donald Trump after the president-elect's shocking announcement targeting the United States' northern neighbor. We talk about how the intense and effective connections between our two countries flow back and north. There Trudeau still reported in Ottawa. We talked about some of the challenges that we can work on together. He added it was a good call. The call came after Trump warned he would impose new tariffs of 25% on goods from Canada and Mexico, while also unveiling new levies on products coming into the United States from China. The United States, Mexico, and Canada are tied to a three-decade-old free trade agreement, now called the USMCA, that is renegotiated under Trump after he complained that U.S. businesses, especially automakers, were closing out. On Tuesday morning, senior government source told AFP that Trump and Trudeau had a productive and constructive conversation focused on trade and border security and pledged to stay in touch. Trudeau is scheduled on Wednesday to hold a meeting with Canada's provincial premiers, many of whom expressed alarm at the possible trade impacts to discuss the Trump salvo. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 11:29 a.m. and we will return with the latest news headlines later with koolNews at noon at 12. Until then, my name is Cairo. Coming up next on Cool FM is Work It with Tiffany Ang and Tiffany Ang and one other male here. All right, until then, good morning.